My brother-in-law demanded a DNA test while my husband lay in a coma. He wanted to prove my son wasn't his nephew so he could inherit everything. The results confirmed more than just paternity. My husband Joel was driving home from work on a Tuesday evening when a truck ran a red light and hit him on the driver's side. He was in surgery for 9 hours. The doctors said he had severe brain trauma and they could not predict when or if he would wake up. They told me to prepare for the possibility that he might never come back. I sat by his bed every single day for 3 weeks. I held his hand and talked to him about our son Maddie, who was 8 years old. I told him about Maddie's soccer games and his spelling tests, and how he asked about his dad every night before bed. I played Joel's favorite music on my phone. I read him the sports section from the newspaper because he always complained that I never cared about basketball. I did everything I could think of to bring him back. Joel's brother Frank showed up at the hospital on day 4. He stood in the doorway of the room and looked at Joel hooked up to all those machines. He did not cry. He did not even look sad. He asked me about Joel's life insurance policy. I told him I did not want to talk about that while my husband was still fighting for his life. Frank said I was being naive and that someone needed to think about practical matters. He said Joel had a lot of assets, and we needed to figure out who would manage them if he never woke up. I asked him to leave. He left, but he came back 3 days later with papers. He said he talked to a lawyer about Joel's estate. He said that as Joel's only sibling, he had questions about the line of inheritance. He said specifically that he had concerns about Maddie. I asked what concerns he could possibly have about an 8-year-old boy. That is when Frank said he did not believe Maddie was Joel's biological son. He said Maddie did not look anything like Joel. He said Maddie had darker hair and different eyes. He said he always thought it was suspicious that I got pregnant so quickly after Joel and I started dating. He said I probably trapped Joel with another man's baby, and now I was trying to steal the family money. I could not speak for a long time. I just stared at him standing there in the hospital room next to his unconscious brother, accusing me of something so horrible. I asked him if he seriously came here to call me a liar and a cheat while Joel was in a coma. He said he was protecting his brother's legacy. He said Joel worked hard for everything he had, and Frank was not going to let some woman and her bastard child take it all. He actually used that word. Bastard. About my son. About his nephew. He demanded a DNA test. He said if I refused, it would prove I had something to hide. He said he would get a court order if he had to. He said once he proved Maddie was not Joel's son, he would petition to have himself named as Joel's next of kin and take control of all the assets. I told him to get out. I told him if he ever came near me or my son again, I would call security. He smiled and said he would see me in court. Frank filed his petition 2 weeks later. His lawyer argued that there was reasonable doubt about Maddie's paternity and that a DNA test was necessary to determine rightful inheritance. My lawyer said it was ridiculous, but the judge agreed to hear the case because Frank presented it as a matter of protecting Joel's estate from potential misrepresentation. I was furious.